Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Olivia. Hope everyone is having a fantastic day today. Something that I wanted to talk about that I think is important and that I had to call myself out on, and that I just want people to be aware of, and I will continue to call myself out on. I think in life, and I wouldn't be surprised if comparison has something to do with this. In life, you have so many dreams, so many goals, so many aspirations, things that you want to accomplish. I want to be an actor. I want to be a writer. I want to be I want to be an athlete. I want to be this. I want to be that. I want to be a doctor. I want to write a book. I want to do this. I want to have this. I want to do this. I want to do that. And all those things are fine. But I don't, I had to call myself out on this because you can want so much out of life that you wind up being nothing, meaning that you can have so many dreams, so many goals, so many aspirations that you wind up not accomplishing a single one. And you start stressing yourself out, making yourself sick through this paralysis, through analysis, and you eventually become emotionally burned out from all the things that you once wanted to chase, which are your dreams and your goals. And you are stretching yourself thin between so many different dreams and goals and aspirations that you want to accomplish that you feel as though that there is stagnation. You feel as though that you have burned yourself out. You have stalled, and that you had so many dreams and so many goals that you wanted to accomplish that you eventually wound up accomplishing nothing. And sometimes, even myself, I want to be everything. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to be creative. I want to be artsy. I want to have all these dreams and these goals and ambitions and things that I want to accomplish in such a short amount of time, mind you, that I have so many paths, so many goals that are laid out in front of me. The world is my oyster, as they say, that I want to chase every single one of them. I want to go after everything that pops into my head, every desire that I have. But then, yet, in the same, trying to juggle that gives you this immense pressure of trying to have it all figured out in such a that everything gets your undivided attention 100% of you every time, every goal that you want to accomplish. And it's almost like, the feeling you used to be inspired by your dreams and your goals and the things that you wanted to accomplish in life, but eventually you start feeling anxiety from the very things that used to inspire you because now all of a sudden you feel stuck when you want to accomplish all these things around you. Or even this too, like I said, comparison. I wouldn't be surprised if it's in there too, because you're seeing everybody accomplish so much with their lives, so it may motivate you to do the same and have six different goals all at one time, and then you realize I can't do this, and you become what you get in a place of stagnation. You become stagnant, and you're standing still. You can dream of so many things and wanting so much out of life that you wind up becoming nothing. You have too many things that you're trying to focus on that you can't even focus on one thing at a time, or you just can't even give one thing your undivided attention because you're trying to focus on so many things at once. And, you know, we have goals, we have dreams, we have things we want to be in life, things that we may have even been dreaming since we were a kid. And because, not saying that you can't dream those things, but sometimes you want to accomplish them in such amount of short amount of time, or before you hit a certain kind of age, and you realize that you're trying to do all these things and give 100% of yourself to every single goal, dream, ambition that you have, that sometimes the very things that you started chasing can keep you in a place, can keep you stagnant, where almost like you feel somewhat secure, but and yet you're not happy because none of the things that you want to accomplish are being fulfilled. It kind of reminds me of someone had a quote. I can't remember the lady that said it. She was like, ending up at the place you started is not the same as having never left. And I feel as though when you return to a place that you left, it just shows you where you started from. But and yet when you never leave, you never get to experience that. And it just gives me a reminder that even though I have so many things I want to accomplish in life, just accomplish one at a time. You know, just learn as you go. Just begin the journey, because the anticipation of you wanting to accomplish all this stuff within the first step of the journey, or the beginning of the journey, may not be possible. And I feel like there's a difference between going on this journey and just, it's like this. You have so many dreams, so many goals and ambitions, and that you want to accomplish on this journey called life. There's a difference between going on a journey where you eventually cross each one of those things off the checklist, rather than staying in one position, in one state, in one place, just bobbing, someone said bobbing up and down, because you are trying to figure out, how do I start this journey, because you want to accomplish all these things at the exact same time. Sometimes it just, you got to do one, and then you do the other, and then you do the other. You may not be able to accomplish every single thing at once, and that's something that I continue to have to tell myself. You can spend so much time planning for your dreams, your goals, ambitions. I want to accomplish this by this age. I want to accomplish a whole list of 10 things by this age. And you can spend so much time planning that instead of actually executing and fulfilling anything that you have planned. You have so many great ideas, so many great goals and dreams in your head, that it can become too many options that you don't even wind up fulfilling one of them. And your brain cannot pick one thing or one goal to fulfill, because you have so many things that you're dreaming of. And I feel like sometimes wanting so much can keep you in this loop. You know, it, it, it just keeps you in this loop, because you're never fulfilling whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. And then you feel as though that you're wasting time, and then you fear as though that you're going to wind up not accomplishing anything overall. But like I said, I feel like the main important thing I'm trying to say in this video is, you don't have to have it all figured out. You don't have to have a whole list of 10 goals and dreams that you want to accomplish, and you want to accomplish them all in one year. Some people can do that. Maybe you can't, and that's perfectly fine. Maybe the things that you want to accomplish, you have to accomplish one at a time. One dream and goal ambition once a year. And I feel like it's more so important that you just keep on walking in the journey, and you keep on growing and evolving and accomplishing your goals and your dreams and aspirations, rather than getting into this analysis by anxiety by analysis paralysis, something like that, where you wind up trying to accomplish so much that you wind up staying in that same spot for the rest of your life, because you don't know which one that you want to pinpoint on first. And it's perfectly fine not for you not to have it all figured out. It's perfectly fine for you to have so many dreams and goals and ambitions that you want to accomplish. It's okay to want more than one thing at one time. You can have 10 goals, 10 dreams, 10 aspirations. I think it's just important. What was I going to say? And you may feel as though, because I used to feel this way, because I had so many things that I wanted to accomplish in life, I felt confused. I didn't know where to begin. I felt lost. I didn't know where I was going to start. And I think that's perfectly fine. That's what makes you human. Your heart, your dreams, your goals, your mind is pulling you in so many different avenues. Maybe because it is a desire that your mind and your heart wants you to accomplish. But I think maybe you can accomplish all those things within a whole lifetime. I think you can me personally, I put too much pressure on myself trying to accomplish 10 things all in one year, without recognizing maybe these 10 things can be accomplished within the next 2 decades. Why am I forcing myself and stressing myself out trying to accomplish everything within 1 year, when this can be something that I accomplish within 10 years? And that's just simply the journey of me growing, me evolving, me learning, me shifting. And that's just the journey of being a human being overall. I'm always changing. I think sometimes we can rush to get this finished version of ourselves, and this is me, and I'm 100%, and everything's figured out. You're never going to be 100%. You're never going to have it 100% figured out. You are allowed to explore. You're allowed to change. You are allowed to shift, adapt. The things that maybe you dreamed of 1 year, you may shift and change your dreams into the next year. I think you're just allowed to change your mind. You're allowed to start again. And even though your dreams may work out may work out or whether they don't work out. I think it just is shaping you overall. And someone had a good point, you don't have to be everything at one time because everything takes time. Meaning that you can try to accomplish and be everything and have so many titles and be this multifaceted person all at one time or all in one year. But in reality, all those things that you want to become take time. They're not all going to be accomplished in 1 year, or maybe you may not be skilled at it within 1 year. It just evolves as you grow older, and as you get older as a human being and adapt and change. So will your skills, so will your dreams, so will the things that you want to accomplish in life. And I think I had to call myself out on this is, people, myself included, when we're young, we can try to compress our whole lives and our dreams and our goals into a couple months or in a few years. We want to accomplish all these things within 2 years without recognizing that these may be things that you accomplish in your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s for the rest of your life, and that you wanting to have it figured out within 1 year and that you accomplish all these things is stressing you out more than you actually accomplishing them as you grow and evolve as a human being overall. We can try to build and have this, not a perfect life, but a good, strong foundation of ourselves within a year. Even when you're young, you want to get this all figured out within a year and just be this well-rounded, multifaceted person. But I had to call myself out on this. I said, me personally, I felt like I was driving myself crazy because it was not attainable to me. I'm trying to be so many things in life, have so many dreams and goals and ambitions that I'm stressing myself out. And in the process of me stressing myself out, I can't even accomplish anything that I want to accomplish in life. Every single year brings something different. Every single season, every single season of your life, era of your life brings something different. And it's all going to tell a different story. It's all going to have different dreams. It's all going to have different goals, ambitions. It's all going to have different storylines all together. And trying to compress the majority of your life into 1 to 2 years is stressing, well, me personally was stressing myself more than it should have been. And I had to, what is not solidify, I had to compress. No, that's not the word. I had to take it slow. Let's just say that. I had to take it slow with my goals and my dreams and stop putting a date on when I'm supposed to accomplish these things, and more so look at it from a journey aspect. I'm supposed to get better as I improve, as I grow, as I get older with each passing year. And these goals and dreams and ambitions, if I stick with them, are going to grow with me. Meaning that maybe 1 year I want to focus on getting a degree. On the next year, I want to focus on launching a business. The next year, I want to focus on YouTube. Next year, I want to write a book. The next year, I want to travel. The next year, I want to save up for this. I want to save up for a car. I want to do this. I want to do that. While not compressing it all into one specific year. Or maybe even like I just said earlier, I was saying once a year. Maybe you could do that. Create a new goal every decade. I don't know. You can stress yourself out more than needed trying to accomplish so much in life. And like I said, while you're stressing yourself out, you wind up becoming nothing overall. I think there's just, I had to identify what was making me feel this way, this weight of expectations, this weight of my goals and the dreams and things I want to accomplish, trying to balance everything that I wanted to accomplish in life and not let it stress me out more than to the fact that I wind up not accomplishing anything overall. The pressure to become everything and to have everything figured out by a certain age can mentally shut down your brain to the point where you never accomplish anything overall. So because of this, kind of I had to list out my desires, the things I wanted to accomplish in life, my dreams, my goals. Maybe one thing I wanted to do this 1 year, one or two things this year. Okay, I wrote it down and I worked towards it. Okay, If I did, maybe I didn't accomplish it all in 1 year. Okay, let's continue to see if you can accomplish it the next year. Or if I maybe I accomplished it, okay, great. What's another thing maybe I can accomplish in life? Um, I feel like when you try to give everything 100%, you have 10 goals that you want to accomplish. You try to give every single goal 100% of you, you're going to stretch yourself thin. And because of that, you're not going to put as much effort into every single thing. Everything can't get 100% of you if you're trying to do 10 things all at once. You have to focus on one thing at a time. And these things do not need to be accomplished within a year or two. It may take you 5 years to accomplish it, it may take you 10 years. I think the time limit, I think the time that you put on your goals and your dreams and ambitions should not, I don't think there should be a time limit. And this too, what may work for someone may not work for you. Their goals and ambitions may be accomplished within a year. Okay, that worked for them. For you, it may take 10 years. That's perfectly fine. We're all different. And, there is no one size fits all. So it's just important for me. I had to understand the difference between, what was I going to say? I don't know. I had to understand the difference and really identify within myself, why did I want to be so much? Why was I putting so much pressure on myself? Um, because there's so many things I want to accomplish in life, but I didn't want to get so wrapped up in trying to accomplish them all at once that I wound up not accomplishing anything at all, and I was just like just stagnant, just in one spot for the rest of my life because I had 10 things that I wanted to accomplish, and because of that, I was stretching myself thin trying to accomplish every single one of these things that I never wound up doing anything in the first place. So because of this, I had it, I just had to consolidate. That may not be the right word. I just had to focus on one thing at a time and just focus on me. Stop looking at what everybody else is doing and you feel as though you're not up to that level because you're comparing yourself too. And what else was I going to say? I don't know. I think it's just very important that, and I mean, it's hard when you have so many things, so many goals and ambitions that you want to accomplish in life. You want to accomplish them all at one time, and you feel as though if you don't accomplish them all at one time, you're this failure. When in reality, that you're not. The things, like I said, the things that you want to accomplish may take 10, 20 years, and that's perfectly fine. They do not all need to be accomplished within 6 months because you don't want to stretch yourself thin, that everything is kind of just, you just kind of just not really putting much effort into it because you're trying to accomplish everything at once. Why not focus on one thing at a time so this one dream, this one goal that you have can get 100% of you. And then when you accomplish that, the next goal can get 100% of you. And then the next goal, and on and on and on and on. But I think it's just an important reminder that I even tell myself, wanting to be so much that you wind up becoming nothing, that you stress yourself out so much that in your goals and your dreams and ambitions that you wind up not accomplishing something overall. So having to reroute and change my thinking and stop focusing on 10 things all at once, focus on one thing and get good at that and accomplish that and enjoy that and enjoy the journey that you go on trying to accomplish that goal and dream. And once you accomplish it to your desire, move on to something else. And that's perfectly fine, regardless of how long it takes. It takes 6 months, it takes a year, it takes 2 years, 5 years, 10, 20. As long as you accomplish it. You accomplish it, and when you think back on your journey, what was I going to say? When you think back on your journey of where you started, you recognize that, wow, I've learned so much and I've accomplished so much. And this was truly a journey of the ups and downs. And I have so many lessons that I learned rather than you having this thought of, like I said earlier, you want to accomplish so much that you wind up not accomplishing anything, that you just stagnant for the rest of your life. And you don't really learn any lessons overall. It's just a reminder to me that venturing out and learning and trying, even if one thing at a time, is always worth the pursuit, is always worth the lessons. And also, like I said earlier, ending up at the same place where you started is not the same as having never left. I don't want to be so wrapped up in trying to accomplish so much at one time that I wind up never leaving and wind up never learning and developing myself. Regardless if the first goal takes 10 years, at least I accomplished and I learned something rather than me potentially being in one place and stagnant for the rest of my life because I was too scared, not scared, but too anxious, too stressed out, I couldn't focus on one desire. I'm focusing too much on 10 and I can't even put my foot forward to even accomplish or even start the journey, that I wind up just staying there, stagnant for the rest of my life. But I hope that made sense. I feel like I was just yapping, but regardless, I don't care. I think it was a good discussion about, wanting to be so much that you wind up being nothing. About how maybe you need to not focus on 10 things, focus on one thing at a time and just take it slow. If you're moving, you moving. Moving slow is better than not moving at all, kind of thinking. So I hope everyone has a fantastic rest of your day. It's a beautiful one. Um, yeah, I'll see you guys next time.